All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to a quick episode of Rob the Rich, Free the Poor. This is just a quick. I'm also a quick video today. I am trying this out on multiple platforms. I'm streaming on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. So here we go. I thought I would make a Vesper cocktail for you today. This is inspired by of course, the James Bond classic. So it was actually created by Ian Fleming in the book Casino Royale, and this is kind of my version that I've borrowed from a few different sources. This is the best version of a martini that I like, especially at the end of a hot day. So we're going to start out with a couple of dashes of grapefruit bitters. I'm using one of these Japanese bitter bottles, so that was about 4 of those is about 2 of the regular ones. And then 2 ounces of Angostura orange bitters. You can use Fee Brothers as well. That's fantastic. And then with this, my favorite gin, and I'm not sponsored by these guys at all, but this is St. George Terrior Gin. It has lovely pine tree notes and just has a fabulous, fabulous flavor. So we're gonna do 1.5 ounces of that. Drop that into our mixing glass. And then this is what makes it a Vesper. It has a little bit of vodka in there too. I'm using deep Eddy Vodka. Obviously, the original Vesper calls for London Dry Gin, and it also calls for like Stoli vodka, but I'm using deep Eddy vodka. Deep Eddy, so we're gonna use 1 ounce of that. This adds a little bit of ethanol and also cuts the bite of the gin just a little bit. And it just makes for a great flavor. All right, and then the last thing, this is the tricky part. Quina Lillet is it's like a fortified wine that they really don't make anymore, but I have it on good authority from several other folks that I watch on YouTube that Cocchi Americano, this is what it looks like. Let me see if I can get it into frame. This is the closest thing to Quina Lillet that we have. And I do a full ounce of this stuff because it tastes so good. It is so good. So we drop that right in. And that's all there's to it. We're gonna just put in some ice, drop that in, give her a stir, and then we're gonna serve it up in a martini glass. I'm telling you, nothing to it. So, you know, if you're not really a martini person, this might be a good way to enjoy them. It's not a beginner's drink, to be sure. It's all booze, you know, so it is a very strong flavor. So if you're not used to that heavy spirit, you know, taste, this might be too strong of a cocktail for you. But I love them. And then already smelling the botanicals from the gin. The pine tree is starting to waft up. And then, sorry, Mr. Bond, we're gonna stir this and not shake it. I've tried it both ways, and there's really no advantage whatsoever to shaking it. It doesn't really cut down on the dilution. All you get is ice chips in your cocktail, and it just doesn't look as good. So when we go to present it, and I had my stemware chilled in the freezer, you can see you get that lovely, slightly dirty color from the Cocchi Americano, but it does not have any sort of dirt in it whatsoever. So I don't use olives. I use a lemon peel because I think that just complements the botanicals in the gin and also the Cocchi Americano. So all we're gonna do is give that a little squeeze. So we want to express that around the rim, and we want to drop that in, and we've got a Vesper martini. Cheers. Oh, let me give you some tasting notes on that. Oh, so refreshing, so crisp. Oh, that's so good. It's definitely high on the ethanol side because it's got that extra ounce of vodka in there. So I did 1.5 ounces of gin and 1 ounce of vodka. I've tried it a bunch of different ways, and I think this is my favorite ratio. You get a little of the Cocchi Americano, has a little bit of quinine in it, so on the back end of your throat, and then you get a little of those the grapefruit bitters and the orange bitters come through. So this is definitely a sipper, one to enjoy, but at the end of a tough day, I just thought we would like to try it. So the Vesper Martini. Thanks so much. See you next time.